If you wanted to buy a folding knife in the 1970s, your choices were pretty limited. Most blades at the time were of simple construction, slip joints and buck knives made for small tasks like hunting or eating. But all that changed in the 1980s, thanks to one lone knife maker who invented the world's first tactical folder, sparking the advent of a new genre of knives and changing the world of cutlery forever. That man was Bob Terzuola, the godfather of the tactical knife. Terzuola was born in Brooklyn and attended New York University to obtain his degree in industrial arts, an education which he credits for introducing him to the tools and machinery that would later fuel his knife-making career. After graduation, Terzuola served the Peace Corps in Central America, where he became fascinated with the local traditions of weapon making and jade carving. He began crafting his own knives as a hobby, starting with hunting and utility blades before moving on to combat knives. His hobby transformed into a profession when he began selling the M30 Battle Guard, a sturdy fixed blade made for military application in Guatemala. It wasn't long before Terzuola made a name for himself and began working on something that the knife world had never seen before. Combining his knowledge of military weapons with several new inventions of his own design, Terzuola made the ATCF, a name which stands for Advanced Technology Combat Folder. It was truly a cutting tool ahead of its time, a 4-inch blade crafted for use by the military and police. Unlike other folding offensive knives of the time, mainly switchblade stilettos, the ATCF could be comfortably carried in a pocket, thanks to the innovative guard ramp that tucked into the frame when closed. It was also the first production knife to feature a thumb disc opener, a brainchild of Terzuola's that demonstrated a huge improvement over the nail nick used by most folders at the time. The disc allowed it to be manually operated with just one hand, which was considered an incredible engineering feat at the time and a good match to the rising popularity of the liner lock. The ATCF was publicly revealed at the New York Custom Knife Show in 1985, a moment that would be stamped into the history books and inspire countless tactical folders in the following decades. Here was a knife that could be carried more discreetly than a fixed blade, yet still offered the same effectiveness in a survival or combat scenario. It stood out effortlessly among the tables of hunting knives and archaic designs, and Terzuola wasn't finished yet. He would continue to refine the ATCF over the years, eventually adding one of the first pocket clips to be featured on a knife, following its invention by Spyderco, as well as experiment with more exotic materials like ivory and Damascus steel. The debut of the ATCF marks an important change in the world of folding knives, as the industry finally branched out from buck knives and slip joints into a new era of aggressive tactical fighting blades. Terzuola's success ultimately inspired him to publish his wisdom in a book, The Tactical Folding Knife, in 2000. He still designs blades to this day, including collaborations with brands like Spyderco, ProTech, CRKT, and Civivi. His remarkable journey from a hobbyist knife maker to an industry pioneer has single-handedly created an entirely new genre of tactical knives, ensuring that his influence will be felt by the knife world for generations to come. Subscribe to hear more knife stories like this,